Hello and welcome to Third Eye Alliance. I am Davie J. We are a group of like-minded individuals who have a passion for the spiritual, supernatural, the weird, the wonderful, astrology, tarot cards, cryptozoology, ghost hunting, conspiracy theories, hidden history, psychic phenomenon, UAPs, you name it, we're into it.
That's right. And I'm Onamie, and we are missing Christoph today. Um, but today we're going to be talking about CelinaSpookyBoo and get into some ghost stories.
Yep, it's going to be a good episode. So,
It'll be a really interesting one for sure. Christoph told us about the movie. Now there's a movie on the very
right.
popular platform Shudder.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the trailer. Um, I think I'm still trying to kind of wrap my head around, was it scripted? Was it real? Like,
It
is it
it's a
like,
good one.
yeah,
If you really want a good one, I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun
yeah,
one to watch.
yeah.
Watch it with the lights out.
I, I'm really bad with horror movies. I'm so bad with horror movies. I can't.
The lights are all on. Flashlight in hand.
Like, I still can't drive behind like huge like trucks with like big pieces of wood in them, like lumber, because of Final Destination. Like, I can't.
Yep. Or in the movie The Island when they're on the chase scene on the highway and there's a truck with the big iron wheels for a train. Well, there's a trailer load of
Yeah.
them and they all start falling and going all over the road. That
Jeez.
one's a good one. I
Oh
love
God.
that chase scene.
Oh man. I can't do it. But this one, I saw the trailer. It looks really interesting. It looks fun. And it's dropping, I think, July 25th. It's a limited release in the US as well. So they're gonna be in theaters in the US, which is huge. Like
That is
if
huge.
you're in the film industry and you're independent studio, independent filmmaker, that is huge to get.
Massive. So
Yeah,
excellent. Good going, Selena.
yeah, very, that's like congrats to her and the team.
Hmm.
And then we have it on Shutter as well. So I think it's gonna be a good premiere. She has really like a dedicated following, so
Hmm.
no doubt they're gonna make a dent in that and take a look at it. And I'm
And
interested to see like what
hopefully
it's
she
about.
will gain a lot of popularity with this as well.
But yeah, that's true, right? Like
Yeah.
horror
Can only go up.
fans, exactly. And horror fans are like,
Hmm.
um, they love horror fans love horror, like
Oh
love
yeah.
horror. So yeah,
Sure do. Yeah.
so I think it's gonna be good for her. But yeah, Selena Spooky Boo. I'm just looking at her channel. She has a lot of videos, like again, like she's keeping this very like positive, bubbly,
Hmm.
um like personality, but there's videos about them, doing paranormal investigation. And
Hmm.
usually paranormal investigation stuff is scary, or at least it's like it can get scary.
Yeah, it
So,
can.
like, I don't know, maybe her personality helps with that.
Selena Spooky Boo is a lot of fun to watch. If you've never watched her on YouTube, wow, she has quite the life. Yeah.
She does, and she's Canadian, and so it's really awesome to see someone local have such a huge following and is so successful and
Definitely.
dealing with something that is so interesting and so different. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And I wonder how many other people have similar experiences to her and can relate, because I don't know if I can, because her sleepwalking videos are wild.
yeah. I was just looking at some videos, and in the comments I did see some people who are like really happy about it, like her videos, because they relate to it. Some, I guess, they're sleepwalkers as well. And you know if you're a sleepwalker, I can imagine it's kind of hard to find people who are similar. And so when you see someone that's like so popular, and it's something similar that they're going through, that it gives you something to like like you feel camaraderie there, or that hey, I'm not the only one, and you
Absolutely.
know, yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think she, if I'm not mistaken, that's how she got popular was
I,
with the sleepwalking videos.
yeah, I think so. And really gained a lot of momentum when people could see just the insanity that her poor husband also goes through. That poor guy. I, I, I don't know. I'd be locking myself in a basement or something.
That's what I'm saying because like I would be scared because I don't know. It's so unpredictable. Everything that
Hmm.
she does when she's sleepwalking is so unpredictable. So I'd be kind of scared. I don't know how I like. People say, oh, sometimes you don't know who you're waking up next to. He doesn't know when he goes to sleep. It's like,
Yep, it's the same body, just totally different person.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that's how she got um popular, and you know, she has this very like bubbly, like positive um
Yep.
energy, and there's you can laugh about it, laugh about the sleepwalking. But I did see some videos that are kind of where she would sleepwalk and like
Hmm.
walk outside the house, which is scary
It is, yeah.
because you
Can be
just don't.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the night, walk outside the house, and then the video I was just watching, she comes back and she's naked.
Oh.
So she woke up like at the plaza across the street, like she was behind the plaza and she was
Oops.
naked. And you see on the security cam that she found some kind of cardboard, like a piece of cardboard, and she's coming back in the house, but she doesn't know where her clothes went. And
Wow.
and I'm like, that is scary. And I'm like, as a woman, that's like extra scary
Yep.
because, and I'm not sure if I'm assuming she doesn't remember what happens when she's sleepwalking. And that's one of the reasons for like leaving the camera running,
Hmm.
to like record what's going on. Um,
Hmm.
but that's scary. Like you wake up and you're like, one, not in the house, and two, you're naked.
Yep.
And
I
like,
I
yeah.
have a dear friend who I went to high school with,
Mhm.
and she has to live with this as well. So
Mm.
her poor husband basically has to lock the front door from the inside of the house and hide the key. If she knows where he's hiding the key in her sleepwalking state, she will find the key and unlock the door and leave. So he literally has to hide the key in a different spot every night, I think, or whatever.
Oh
It's
my
it's
God.
wild, yeah. So she's had that to deal with for years, and they've suffered with it. I know it's
Mm.
very difficult, but it's wonderful how Selena Spooky Boo has been able to put a positive spin on this in her own life, and it really does enlighten others into the dream world that we live in, and what happens when we are sleeping. I mean, there are people who have out of body experiences, only she's got the complete opposite problem. She's got, it must be like others coming in and taking over as she's trying to just do her thing and rest.
Yeah, I mean, because you know, some of the things that she mentions, it's not her. I don't think it could be her. And you know, um, I think it was Christoph that was talking about it, where she was sleepwalking, and she mentions my penis. Where's my penis?
Yeah.
And that is, I mean, that it has to be, in my mind, it has to be someone else or something else,
Yep,
like
that
in
would
there.
definitely be a male entity of some sort, maybe speaking through her.
Yeah,
Who knows? It's
and
as long as it's all positive and good and nothing negative happens, nothing
yeah,
worse.
yeah,
Yeah, but can
yeah.
you imagine just waking up behind a plaza naked? Go, what the hell?
That is, it's wild. And
Yeah.
actually, like a side note too, like you're talking about your friend and how her husband has to hide the key.
Mhm.
Like I also have a similar story about, I think it was my mom or one of my mom's sisters would sleepwalk, and they had to put a huge heavy wooden bar on the inside of the door that they couldn't lift, because it was either my mom or one of her sisters would try to, like, lift the bar out and, like,
Wow.
walk down the stairs, and, like, where they were living, like, on a higher floor, so there would
Mhm.
be stairs to, like, go all the way down, and that was very dangerous, especially, like,
Mhm.
at that time, and, so it's similar, like, that was very similar, like, what you said about the key.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it sometimes it seems that, like, the consciousness of that individual is still active,
Mhm.
that they know where things are even in that state of sleepwalking,
Yep.
which is
It
interesting.
it's like they can access the memories in the brain of those
Yeah,
things. Hmm.
yeah, and they kinda know where things are, but kinda not really. It's very interesting. I would like I remember, we were talking about the psychic Tyler, and they
Tyler
did
Henry.
yes, and they
Yes.
did, like, a brain scan or looking at brain waves,
Yes.
right? That would
Mhm.
be interesting to do, if possible, on
Yep.
someone who was sleepwalking, yeah.
Yeah, except you'd have to tie them down because you gotta hook up wires to them. You need some sort of a Bluetooth version.
Or really long
Yeah,
wires.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah, that would be
Oh, that
interesting, I think.
that would be wild to see for sure.
Mhm,
But I know that also in other cases, people will sleep eat, and then they struggle with weight issues as a result.
mhm,
Um, there was a former TV host here in Canada who
mhm,
sadly lost his life to it. Um, I remember him and his partner were on TV, well known in the designer scene for home staging and designing and all that.
mhm,
And uh, well, one of them, his name was Chris Heineman, and I believe it was Chris who was the one that sadly passed away. But he would sleep eat, sleepwalk. Well, they were up on a high level penthouse or something like that, and he went off the edge. So
oh my
it
god.
was really, really sad when it happened. Yeah.
Wow.
So it is a dangerous thing that people need to be careful with if they are suffering and dealing with it. I hope that there is help and research out there for it, but yeah, it's a little scary.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other side of it, right? And
Hmm.
Selena, um, she is able to, look at it in a funny way,
Hmm.
right? Um, but yeah, there's that other side to it, and she's built a whole channel around it,
She sure
um,
has, yeah.
right? And it seems like she's gone in the direction of, you know, dealing with the paranormal and,
Hmm.
um,
And that's
yeah.
the really fun side.
Yeah.
We do
Oh, yeah.
enjoy that stuff.
It's super interesting to me.
Yeah.
Um, and again, Christoph also was talking about, she had her PO box open
Hmm.
and people were sending her urns of like,
Right.
or
Yeah. That I would not do that.
I
My
would,
mom is staying on a shelf. Thank you.
I would be terrified. I would be terrified. Like, I just don't know what energy is behind that. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
that's
that
neat.
that stuff can get pretty creepy. Pretty out there.
She's built a channel. She's very successful. And um,
I believe it does.
yeah.
I watch another person who does the same thing, and she is extremely positive and sweet when she talks to the spirits. I mean, if someone was that sweet and positive talking to me in person, I'm putty in your hands. So it'd be the same in the spirit world. That's how I kind of see it. So
Mm,
yeah,
mhm.
the one I'm talking about is Amy Bale Sky. She's absolutely wonderful if you ever want to see her. So yeah.
Also, like, what do you think about the risks of paranormal investigation and really putting yourself in those positions.
Um, you I feel you do need to go in with a level of protection around you. I know from a friend in the past who had a very, very scary negative personal experience when she went into a well-known haunted home. It was actually in Ontario. I forget the name of the family, but it was basically a family that got wiped out by a neighboring family. One of those classic. I forget the names, but the old fights between the old world families. Anyhow, it was one of
Ah,
those, and
okay.
so the whole family got murdered and wiped out.
Oh
And
my God.
she kind of walked in and went, "I'll challenge you," blah 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 blah. And she, for months, had really, really hard physical. It just knocked her flat. She was in depression, and all kinds of weird negative crap happened after she did that. So she really learned her lesson. Don't
Oh,
go in and start shaking things up because they
yeah.
will fuck you up, basically.
So she went into the house
Yeah.
and stated like she was gonna challenge.
Yep. Like
Oh my
basically
God.
she wasn't afraid of them or whatever. And it's like, okay, I'll show you what you should be afraid of. And she got afraid. So
Oh my.
yeah, it was very scary, but she did eventually recover from everything and
Hmm.
sorted it out. What I don't know what she did, how she got through it, but she's much better. So, and I won't mention her name because you can look her up.
Oh, that's a relief though, because there's things where I guess entities can latch onto you, and why like Selena is so interesting is, you know, like and you mentioned it that there's out of body experience, and then she's having the opposite of that. I think that's such a great way to like
Yeah, that's the
look at
only way
it.
I could see it. Like that's
Hmm.
how my mind works it
Hmm.
when, yeah, I don't know if it's accurate or not, but yeah, it's how
Yeah.
I see it.
And so, do you think like things are entering her body?
It could be. I mean,
Yeah.
you hear of people doing mediumship where they're,
Mhm.
in that front of that crystal ball and doing the Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost and get out of my body kind of. Maybe that's what's happening when she is sleeping because
Mhm.
her channel is completely open in that sleep consciousness state of her body. And so they can just kind of step in and go, perfect. I'll turn on this little meat suit and walk around. It's basically what they're doing.
I totally agree with that. I think that for some folks, they have that open channel that's easy to access, and
Hmm.
um, things like that do happen. And again, I'm gonna go back to a story that my mom told me, and she's interested in this stuff too, not as much as I am, but
Hmm.
that was my introduction to a lot of these topics. And there
That's how
was
a lot
a
of us learned, our parents.
right, there's scary stories, and she told me the story about this young girl that went to bed, and the next day they couldn't she wouldn't wake up. She was still alive,
Hmm.
faculties were still working, but she for days wouldn't wake up. Was it
Wow.
days? Was it hours? I'm not sure. This is a long time ago.
Hmm.
And this was when my mother was a child.
Okay.
And back home in the Caribbean, there's, people collect rainwater,
Hmm.
right? And there's a barrel with rainwater, and they had a cover over it.
Hmm.
And at some point, someone moved the cover to get water,
Hmm.
and she woke up. And it was like the idea behind it was that her she probably did astral travel, because I do believe when you sleep and you start to dream, and in some cases your soul astral travels.
I've dreamed of flying, for example. That's out of
Yes,
body. Yes.
yes, and some people see themselves, right? They
Hmm.
see their body, which is like I think one of the biggest indications that that's happening. And the idea was that she was astral traveling, and her soul got stuck in the barrel. I guess it got covered at a weird time, and then when it got moved, she came back, like she was awake now.
Odd.
Um,
I don't know how that would work, but
I
wow.
don't know how that would work, but at least like I heard a lot of stories about, people remembering past lives, young children remembering their past life and things like that. Again, this is my mom telling a lot of stories. When
Hmm.
she was young, these were the things that she saw and experienced.
Hmm.
Um, and I think now and that's what this channel is about really, is like
Yep.
having a space where we could talk about things like that, and start to think about the possibilities of like these things happening, how they might happen, what it might look like, what it might feel like. Um, and so yeah, I do think that like maybe her channels are open, like you said, and she's able to like be a vessel for whoever
E-
whatever.
Exactly.
Like if we're talking about ghosts and I guess possession,
Hmm.
there was a story, and again, this is all stuff that happened where I'm from, which is Guyana, back in the Caribbean. And there's a lot of ghost stories, and because of the history of the land, and all the violence that took place there. Um, and now this was a really popular story, a more widespread one, because it was definitely more recent, like in the last, I want to say, like 30 years or so.
Hmm.
And this happened when I was a kid. So we have the university, right, of Guyana. It's a school, and there's a lot of trees, right? And there was a story about women at a certain time, if they were to pass under that tree, usually later at night. There were cases where they would pass under that tree, and then when they got home, they were speaking a completely different language that they
Oh,
never learned to
weird.
speak, mostly Dutch.
Oh,
Uh,
crazy.
yeah, I believe it was Dutch for the most part. And
Dutch is not an easy
it,
language. You don't just pick it up in a second. Yeah.
I don't think that was even taught at the university. I could be wrong, but I just don't think that it was taught there. Um, but they would pass under this, and this was like multiple women. For a period of time, this was happening to multiple women, and just women. They would pass under the tree, and they would speak a completely different language, and they had knowledge about things that they didn't before.
And did they
Um,
remain speaking these languages?
no, at a certain point, either whether it was like a religious ceremony, something, again, it's big back home to go to the priest or go to the pundit or the imam to rectify things like this, right? What would be
Mhm.
called possession, right? And very freely people will call it possession back home. Um, but this was a case that, it was happening to a few women. At a certain point, you could say the spirit left,
Mhm.
or whatever was having a hold on them left.
Wow.
Um, but that also just why it's plausible is because that Guyana has a history of the Dutch
Mhm.
colonizing.
Okay.
So there's a saying they say, make sure, don't build anything over a Dutch burial ground. And the funny part is that you don't know what a Dutch burial ground is because you don't know what's buried. Like there's no markers or anything.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it's like you be careful where you build things, and where you step, because you don't know where that Dutch burial ground is, right? And there's been quite a few stories, and I'm sure that I can probably find someone who knows a little bit more about it. But um, I just find that so interesting that they were speaking Dutch,
Yeah.
because I don't know anybody back home that speaks Dutch unless they
Yeah.
learn it consciously, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's yes, like I said, it's not an easy language to learn either. Like I've heard it, and I'm like, wow, it's because usually if you listen to like English with French or German
Hmm.
or other, they kind of sound similar, similar words and stuff. Where Dutch, I don't understand anything. I just sit there fascinated, going, "Wow, that's beautiful to listen to." Just I don't understand it.
I'm gonna pivot back to uh Selena Spooky Boo.
Hmm.
Um, she starts with her sleepwalking videos. She gets really popular with that. She goes on to the paranormal investigations. She has a new movie coming out. She has a new show coming out. I'm not sure where she wants to. I think the show is about paranormal investigation as well, but it's a little bit lighter in its like how they deal with it. If I'm not mistaken, uh, I watched the trailer. I can't a while back. I can't remember.
Yeah, well, that
Um,
will be fun to see when it comes out.
yeah, yeah, and there's quite a few. There's mostly shows with you know. I think more popular shows with psychics, but I remember in when I was in the U.S. There's quite a few shows about paranormal investigations,
Hmm.
and it's funny because there's quite a few places in Ontario that are haunted.
Yes, lots of
Right.
places.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about because she's local, she's Canadian. Let's talk about places that are haunted in Ontario.
Yeah, we have loads of places in Ontario haunted. There was always a site that I enjoyed going into. I don't know if it's active still, but Toronto Ghosts.org, I think it was,
Hmm.
but they had loads of interesting ghost stories around Toronto. Um, yeah, one fun one was um, there's a lower Bay Street station in downtown Toronto that a lot of people don't know about because they use the upper Bay Street station as the station everybody uses. The lower one
Uh-huh.
they use now for just training purposes. But when the subway was first opened in Toronto, um, they had all lines going both directions, but they were all on the same level. So if a train broke down, the whole thing shut down. So what they did was made an upper Bay Street station so that it would bypass anything like that, so that they no longer had the issue. So,
Mm.
but the the haunting in the lower Bay Street station, and there's a lady in, I think it's a blue dress that people see. The story behind her is she fell madly in love with a young man when she was also, same age, and it was unrequited love. Um, he classic story. And if he doesn't love me, no one else will. And she put on her best dress and jumped in front of a train. So since then, her ghost has been seen occasionally by workers in the tunnels or things like that. So it's interesting. And I actually did get to go down there, but of course didn't see anything. But it was pretty neat to actually go down to the Lower Bay Street station and see it. As a student, I requested it with the nice lady that worked there, and she allowed me. So it was cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Was it creepy being down there, or were you just more excited to maybe?
I was more excited to be down there. Like there were workers down there. They were doing something. I just kind of got to go and walk around with her at my side. It was pretty fun. Yeah. And then like as I was going to start recording, because it was originally going to be for like a little documentary thing I was
Mm.
doing at film school. And I went to pull the camera out, and all of a sudden this gigantic cloud of cement dust comes wafting into the into the subway station. And so I immediately just put the camera away because I did not want cement dust inside this very expensive camera that I did not own. So I was like, okay, filming is not happening, but at least I got to
Mm.
see it. And it was pretty neat to be down there and see it. But like I
Hmm.
said, I didn't feel or see anything. It was a lot of construction and other stuff going on. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What about there was I believe a pub somewhere.
Yep. there's a few pubs downtown Toronto that had ghosts. I can't
Mhm.
remember those stories too much, but the Keg Mansion,
Egg
um,
Mansion.
which is a well-known restaurant in downtown Toronto, they have ghosts, and Christoph and I did go there for dinner one time to actually specifically ask the workers in the restaurant to see if they had experienced them. And sure enough, within a few minutes, like half of the staff were coming to our table talking to us. It was so much fun. Um, yeah, I don't remember any of the stories because this was quite a while ago, but
Mhm.
um, yeah, they all had experiences going down into the
Wow.
basement because it's dark and dingy, and the place was built like in the late 1800s or mid 1800s or something. And so, yeah, a lot of history in that old building. And yeah, they'd hear voices, footsteps, they'd feel a tap on the shoulder or cold going through them, and uh, oh, there was another pub that me and Christoph went to because we were all into this, so we were doing this as a fun thing on the weekends and stuff. But we went into another pub and talked to one of the bartenders there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, one time I was sleeping overnight because I had to work the next morning at like 11. So I just didn't go home and slept in the pub on one of the benches, and he heard things while he was sleeping at night, and he felt things. So he's like, "Yep, there's a ghost in this pub." So it was pretty cool.
Oh man.
I don't remember the name of that pub, but it was
Mhm.
a long time ago. I'm sure it's long gone because pubs don't stick around for long. They change names a lot around here.
That's true. That's very true. Oh man. I know that um there's a there's a school in Cambridge that's rumored to have a ghost, and that ghost was the this is an old school. This was probably built in the 1800s.
Mhm.
Uh, so it's like historic. Uh, it looks like a castle called Collegiate, and the ghost is the ghost of they call it the ghost of Tassie Hall.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
and Tassie is the so originally that school was an all boys school,
Okay.
and then the World War One started, I believe, and then things changed.
Mhm.
And after Tassie died, it's it's rumored that he's still there. He doesn't like the fact that it's no longer an all boys school. So
No girls allowed.
I've been there, and definitely a historic place. It's awesome to like see it on the outside. I always say, "Wow, this would be a great place to shoot a movie." Like it looks awesome on the outside, and even when you get in on the inside,
Mhm.
it is cavernous, that school, and
Oh, neat. We love
it's
stuff like
so
that.
cool. Yeah, it is so cool. And then I believe Tassial is the auditorium, which is still in use, literally all the time. And there's been reports of like chairs moving and things being moved around, and so I think that would be cool, like to check that out. Especially like if you're a girl, if you're a woman and you go in there and ask, "Yay, Tassie, what's going on?"
Yeah, but don't go in there angry. Go in there really sweet, really kind. See if you get a better result because you don't want them throwing things at you.
Literally. Oh my gosh. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Like obviously University of Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it was one of the towers at U of T is haunted, but unfortunately, I haven't had any personal experience uh, with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, my knowledge would be more limited. I think you probably had more
Um,
experiences.
I have had a few experiences. I remember specifically one, and I was little at the time. I don't know if I've told this in a past video, but I know I've told Christoph. Um, but I was just a little guy, probably 4 or 5 years old, visiting my great grandmother's house. And upstairs, I could always feel there was something dark and ugly up there. And
Really?
yeah, And of course, in those days, to save money, they turned off every single light. So if you weren't in that room, the light was out. They don't want that bill going past $25, you know? And so I was real nervous about going up the stairs because, you know, you're a little guy, you're curious and whatever. So I was climbing my way up the stairs slowly because I could feel something there, but was curious and scared all at the same time. But I'd make my way up the stairs backwards like a little seat, and because I didn't want to just walk and run up there, I was scared. So I'd go up a little bit, feel a bit. No, I'm okay. Okay, up one more. No, okay, I'm okay. And I just keep doing that until I hit the top. I hit the top. I felt the hand go on my shoulder, is this side. Yeah. And I, boom, gone. Bolted down the stairs. I was underneath my mom's chair, hugging her leg, crying, and I did not come out. I was there for the
Oh,
rest of the night.
oh my God. This you actually felt something.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure it was the ghost of maybe my great grandfather or something like that, who
Mm.
was, I'm told, not a kind man. So yeah, he was
Oh
very abusive. Um,
God.
yeah, so unfortunately, yeah, my grandfather did not have nice stories about him. He didn't say much, but yeah, I just know he went through hell with him. So yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
along with all of his brothers and sisters. So yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I got that little tap on the shoulder and nope.
Jeez.
Run. So
You're like, I've had enough. That's it.
yep.
Yeah.
And actually I did have another ghost experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel it was the lady in the blue dress, because the week before I was going down into the the Bay Street station,
Mm-hmm.
um, I I just kind of thought, what if I got a little sign that this was real? And I hop on the subway one day, and I looked at my watch. Okay, I think it was 4:20 in the afternoon or something like that. Well, while I'm riding the subway, I'm going to the stops, and I look at my watch again. Well, the time didn't move. And I'm still riding along. I get to my stop, and I realize my watch had stopped completely. So I thought, oh, great, my battery's dead. Well, I step outside from my stop that I got off at, and my watch is working again. It had stopped completely for the time I rode the subway. And when I was done riding the subway, it worked perfectly, but just that 18 minutes that I was in the subway,
18
and
minutes.
or whatever it was. Yeah, it was just that little bit of time that was off, and then the watch battery still lasted me another year or so after. So I feel, did you get a chill right there?
Yeah, because
That's a confirmation from the other side. That was them saying, stop the watch to let them know that it was real. So,
and you got on a base station.
uh, I think no, it wasn't that
Mhm.
I got on there. I just happened to get on the subway. I have a feeling that she kind of rides the subway and enjoys it,
Mm.
I but she's spotted in the Lower Bay Street.
Okay.
But yeah,
18
that
minutes is
was
a long time. That's why I was like 18 minutes.
yeah, it was a good long ride at the time. So, but it was the exact amount of time I was on that subway, and like I said,
Wow.
the battery kept working afterwards, no issues. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really interesting. And then reset my watch back and went, okay, that was an interesting confirmation. And by the way, if anyone who is watching this got a chill up their spine when I told that, that's a confirmation. That's your body telling you, yep, every time.
Mm.
So trust that.
Nice. Wow. And like I said, like I've never, maybe I haven't noticed it. Maybe I'm somewhere else. I don't know. But I've never had like such a personal like experience before when it comes to ghosts or, things beyond the veil. Um, I've had, people in my family pass away, but it's mostly my mother and my grandmother that would have experiences. So my mom's dad passed away when she was very young, and to this day, like around his birthday, which is in February, um, both her mom, my grandma, and my mom, and some of her sisters sometimes, uh, they will say, "Oh, he came by,"
Mm-hmm.
and it would be obviously like when they're sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he'll either like show up in their dreams, or my grandma would say she would feel like a tug on her uh one of her toes or something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. But that's, their experience. Like I haven't personally felt anything that stood out to me so far,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, maybe one
Um,
day he will, and you'll be like,
maybe.
"Oh, that's the sign from him." So,
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
mm,
I'm open to it for
a-
sure.
ask him for it. You never know. Maybe it'll hit one night when you're sleeping. Yeah.
I'll try and do it, especially like around February, because it seems to be the month that he is
Yeah.
active, if he, if he wants to make himself known.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's somebody I've never met before. Obviously, he died way before I was born, but
Hmm.
I feel like it would be nice to know,
Yeah.
or feel his personality, what he was like. I only know about him through my mom, and
Hmm.
um, yeah, I think it would be cool to know, like, if he came to visit, what he'd be like. Who knows?
Yeah, that would be
Um,
neat.
mhm. So yeah, that's unfortunately as much as I know about like having experience um, with ghosts,
Hmm.
um, and hauntings and all that.
And
Yeah.
if you guys at home have had any experiences like this, please comment down below. Like our channel, subscribe, all that fun stuff.